Hello and welcome to the first episode ever of our videocast, The Pause Menu. I'm your host, Corey, and today joining me I have fellow For the Love of Gaming member, Garrett.
Hey everybody, how you doing?
All right, this week we're going to talk about Resident Evil 6, Alan Wake on the PC, and Bioshock Infinite's new 1999 mode. Let's get started.
Bioorganic weapons are a global threat. Start working with the rest of the world.
And first up, we got Resident Evil 6 was announced. They were teasing it for a couple days on a website, and we got the first official revealed trailer for Resident Evil 6. It will be releasing November 20th of this year on the Xbox 360 and PS3. I thought
I
it was.
believe it's gonna have some PC later on too.
Oh, that's interesting. I never played any of them on the PC, but anyways, the trailer shows off a lot actually. It shows off I can't remember, Chris Redfield. It's got Leon Kennedy. It's got other characters from the franchise and some new ones. But it's full of action. This series has definitely changed from when it was just a lonely PS1 game and you were just in a mansion trying to survive. So, what do you think of the trailer?
I thought it was amazing. It blew me away, and when it started off, I didn't think that they'd be showing any gameplay. I thought it'd be too early for that, but wow, that was a lot of gameplay. It gave you a general idea of what the game's going to be about. It seems like they're going for three different play styles with each of the characters. Like Leon will be more classic survival horror focused, and with Chris, he's going to be seems like he's going to be more like action packed, having shootouts with other enemies. And then the third character, who hasn't been revealed who he is yet, but some people are speculating maybe it's Hunk, maybe it's one of somehow related to Wesker,
That would
but he
that
seems
would
to be
that would make sense.
right.
Everything always comes back to Wesker.
Always Wesker, but yeah, it looks like he's got more kind of like chase sequence, almost like a Nemesis, where you're constantly being hunted down by the Nemesis monster. It looks like there's going to be a new type of big bad chasing you around. Looks pretty sweet.
Yeah, I mean I'm not a huge Resident Evil fan. I mean I've played the games. I absolutely hated 5. Um, but it's an impressive trailer. I mean, it looks like they're probably going to fix some of the things that, personally, I don't want to say an average gamer, that I play a lot of different action games. Moving and shooting, I don't know why, but that always bothered me. Resident Evil 5, I wanted to move and shoot at the same time, but I just couldn't do it. And it seems, I mean, from the trailer, it looks like you've got some movement, and it's going to play more like a modern. I don't want to say modern survival shooter like Dead Space, but that's kind of what it looks like. Even looks like he might even have like a cover system, similar to in the
Right.
trailer. You see Chris kind of slide into cover there, but it, I'm excited though. I mean, it's kind of weird saying I'm excited for Resident Evil game when it hasn't really been my franchise, but this is one hell of a trailer.
Right. And some of the cool new features it looks like they're putting into the game where there's a scene where Leon is being attacked by a zombie and he pulls out like a fire axe and just plants it right in the dude's forehead.
I,
And so it looks like there's going to be like single use defensive items, kind of like in the Resident Evil 1 remake for GameCube.
I remember that having the knife and
Yeah.
just stick it through his head. So
Right. Or sticking a grenade in somebody's mouth.
yeah, that's
And then probably the best part of the entire trailer is where Leon is facing a bunch of zombies and he slides underneath one, spins around and just shoots him right in the head. It was awesome.
and it definitely. I mean, we were talking about this earlier, but this is no longer just horror game. This is going to be a straight up action game, which is causing a lot of controversy. But I personally think it's for the better. I am a fan of the action shooter. I mean, try to play the original Resident Evils. I mean, they were clunky, and for the time they looked good. But today they're a little hard to swallow. But I'm excited for the more action Dead Space style shooter than the old clunky. You know, it, Even Resident Evil 5 to me felt a little dated. Resident Evil 4 really worked, but 5 just did not click with me at all. So I'm excited for the action part of it myself.
Right. And this is only a debut trailer. This is the first we've seen anything about the game. And yeah, I know people worried because a lot of people didn't like Resident Evil 5, but we still don't know that much about this game. Maybe they're going to find that sweet spot between the action and the survival horror. And I regardless of whether it's pure survival or pure action or just that sweet spot, I think it's gonna be a great game.
Yeah, and there's also some other details. I mean, the cool thing is they said they've been working on this for about 2 years already, and they have almost 600 people working on this title. So I think that they're expecting this title to do very, very well, and I'm also expecting it to be a very, very high quality. So I
Right.
mean, the thing I really want from it is I want to just be bombarded by zombies. Like that was something in 5. I mean, I honestly didn't play 5 too much, but if you remember the trailer of 5, it just looked insane. I mean, there were zombies everywhere, and there was just and you just had to survive. And I never got that feeling in 5, so I'm hoping that kind of happens in 6. But also, there's rumors of co-op, and they're saying even up to maybe 6-player co-op somehow. So if
They gotta step up on Gears of War.
there you go. Just one more. But no, and we don't have official if it's going to be campaign or anything like that. But I have a feeling it's going to be like a horde mode, and
Mercenaries, yeah.
yeah, exactly, and that'd be fun. I mean, killing zombies with my friends. That's I don't see the problem in that.
Yeah, and even if it is campaign based, if it's still got the AI partner in there, then maybe they fix some of that where they're not quite as stupid as typical AI partners that you need to protect as you're playing the game. And maybe B, it could be drop in, drop out co-op where if you don't want to play with anybody, then it's just you in the world facing off against zombies. If a buddy comes over and wants to play with you, then they can drop in and a second player just shows up.
Yeah, and I have a feeling that's how it's going to be. And then the 6-player thing is just straight up multiplayer. And I believe they even did a little. They did versus mode in was it the 3DS one? I can't.
um,
I'm not sure now.
the 3DS one was just mercenaries mode.
And
That was
that's
it.
but didn't it have couldn't you face people?
I'm not sure I didn't have
Yeah,
it,
I'm not sure
but I
either.
know 5 there was a versus mode.
Okay, maybe that's what I'm thinking. So I'm sure that'll be in it, but the horde mode there. So I mean, I'm excited. I mean, you finally have Leon and Chris. I mean, it kind of feels like the story is coming full circle, which I mean, that's awesome. So
Right. It looks like the world is pretty much screwed at this point. There's zombies and T-virus and um, just parasites everywhere, taking over everybody. Everything's going to hell.
yeah, and it's not a lot of time. So we'll get this game at the end of the year, and I think it's safe to say that we are both looking forward to it.
Definitely.
Happened to you. The world needs you.
No, not me. Just my blood. Well, the world can have it. As long as someone ponies up the dough.
After what she's done to us, how many of our men are dead because of that bitch?
I'm right there with you, Captain. But your personal vendetta isn't gonna get us anywhere.
Resident Evil 6.
Next news story is a Xbox 360 game that was exclusive to the console will be making its PC debut next month. Alan Wake will be making a Steam release sometime in February. So a lot of people are pretty excited about this. I am one of them. Alan Wake on the Xbox 360 to me was a underrated game. A little repetitive, but I mean it's to me I thought it was definitely worth a playthrough. So the PC version will have all the DLC, which was the writer and I can't remember the other one now on that will come with the PC version, so you have all the DLC, and obviously the PC version will get some updated graphics and perks. So better lighting, a feature that a lot of the Xbox crowd wanted was the fully removable HUD to be fully immersed into that universe. So I'm pretty excited, and they're even saying 3D support for if you've got an extremely high-end gaming rig. Right now, it's only supporting NVIDIA cards, but I think 3D Alan Wake would be really really cool. So
I I didn't have that much time with Alan Wake. I played it. Ooh, I think I got halfway through on the Xbox, and maybe I have to check it out.
yeah, there was definitely some things wrong with it. The weirdest thing to me was how after you beat a chapter, it would recap it like it was a TV show, but you just played that chapter. Like,
I kind of like that though.
I just wish it would have been that way. Like, if you turned off the console and then you came back, it would show everything that you did. I thought that would have been cool. I just feel like I wish they would have put that in a little bit better. But hopefully that maybe they'll fix that in the PC. I'm not sure, but the the mouse and keyboard controls are going to be a little wonky, so I'll probably play it with a D-pad. But I'm excited to see. I mean, that universe is really really good, and the effects that they have on the enemies and stuff like that, I think that'd be really cool. I mean, if you got a monster gaming rig, you're really gonna be able to push those polygons and really, I mean, that world is going to be amazing. So I'm excited about that. And then I hope this also means that maybe we'll get Alan Wake 2 and Alan Wake American Nightmare. Maybe we'll get that on the PC. So
Well, it seems that way.
yeah, and the weird Remedy is actually publishing this title on the PC by themselves. So they're betting a lot on this. So hopefully if it
Oh
does,
wow.
yeah, hopefully if this does well, maybe Microsoft will say, okay, hey, yeah, we'll put it on Games for Windows Live or whatever they call that stupid service now. But I'm excited to see it, and hopefully the price won't be too high. Like $30, I'd pay that for a PC version of Alan Wake. So and
Yeah, that's a great deal.
yeah, and it has. I actually never played the DLC on the Xbox, so I would definitely pick it up on the PC just for that reason. I mean, it's almost worth it then. So, I mean, very very cool game, and I really hope we get an Alan Wake 2. American Nightmare is going to be good, but come on,
It's now a full
yeah.
disc-based retail game.
Oh, and it's not the official sequel, so I have a feeling it's not going to move the story at all. And Alan Wake 1 ended on a really big cliffhanger. So, and yeah, you didn't finish it, but it kind of just it's just like, oh well, we'll see in Alan Wake 2. I'm just like, oh come on. It pulled the Halo 2 moment where it's just like I'm finishing this fight, and it's like, all right, let's do this, and then the credits roll, and you're just like, huh, well I guess I'm not going to do this. So. But definitely look forward to that. No release date, but sometime in February. My guess is probably sometime at the beginning.
Alan, we're here. This would make a wonderful setting for a book.
We're supposed to be on vacation, Alice.
Alan!
Alice! My wife is missing. They took her.
I found many pages. We can't talk here. Come meet me in Underwood.
And the final piece of news for this week is Bioshock Infinite is getting a new mode that'll be called 1999 mode. What it is pretty much is that the Bioshock universe games have always kind of had these choices that affect the universe, but they never affected them to the point to where you couldn't kind of shape the world in the way you wanted. The 1999 mode is where your choices have a permanent consequence, and that the everything about it will be different, and it's also going to be a harder mode where ammo is going to be stripped off, and it's not going to be as easy as the other modes. So it's essentially kind of like a hardcore mode or something like that you would find in other games like Dead Space 2 or something like that, where the game is just a lot more difficult. But the choices is kind of where it's kind of the difference of between the normal game and the regular game. But Bioshock Infinite is obviously getting a lot of attention and a lot of hype. I mean, we've seen that game for a long time. I personally, I mean, it's not a franchise that I'm jumping for, but that's really cool that they're seeing the outcry of the fans that want to play Bioshock in more hardcore ways. So
Right. From what I've read, this is going to harken back a bit to the game System Shock 2, that was kind of a cult hit, I guess you could say. And it was the game that came out before Bioshock that they were working on. It was a PC only game, I believe. And I guess that was more in tune with like hardcore action RPG shooter type hybrid, where it was much tougher, and it I guess you could say it fall kind of into the survival horror genre. And other things I've read about the 1999 mode for Bioshock Infinite is that, say you want to be good with pistols, well, you'll be good with pistols, but if you pick up a machine gun later, then you won't be quite as good with the machine gun. You'll kind of suck with it.
hmm,
So those are the types of choices you're gonna have to stick with.
that's pretty cool. I mean, I know people that play the Bioshock games, they love those games. I mean, there was even that secret achievement in I think it was was it? It might have been one. I think it was one to where it wasn't in your achievement list at all. You had to beat the game on the hardest mode, and I think you couldn't save. It was something crazy like that.
It was, I think it's the brass balls one you're talking about.
Yeah, that one.
You just can't use the Vita chambers where
That's
you
right.
respawn. Yeah,
So
I got
that's
that.
really.
I think I got it in the second one though.
Oh, okay. That's some hardcore gaming right there. But no, and that's really cool because I think stuff like that is that's one reason why people really like those games because it gives you a chance to go back and play it and just master that game to the point to where you can say I've done it the hardest thing that you can do in this game and I did it. So, and I think 1999 will be pretty successful for that reason. And I think a lot of people waiting for Bioshock Infinite. So, hopefully that game will come out this year and it won't get a delay or anything like that. But only time will tell. I'm sure we'll see more at E3, and I have a feeling that's going to be a huge presence at E3,
Oh yeah, definitely.
along with other probably Resident Evil 6. That'll probably be there too. So, all
Yeah.
right. All right, that's going to do it for this episode of the Pause Menu. Hope you enjoyed it. You can subscribe to our YouTube page to get the weekly updates of the Pause Menu. You can also subscribe to our podcast. We have a weekly podcast for the Love of Gaming podcast at the number 4 logpc.com. And you can also check out our reviews on our YouTube page. We do written reviews as well on the site. So that's going to do it. Subscribe and rate us as well. See ya.